Grand Rising, all kings and queens, all gods and goddesses, all beautiful people. I am Be Floss to God, and this morning I just want to talk about how to remain in the state of the wish fulfilled. How to remain in the state of the wish fulfilled. Right? Now, in one of Neville Goddard's lectures, right? I think the name of the lecture was Divine Vision. I'm gonna put the link in my description box below. Right? So when you finish watching the video, you can take a listen to it. Right? And in this lecture, he would have spoken about um, the Bible verse, the scripture, where Peter asked him if his brother sinned against him, right? How often should he forgive his brother when his brother sinned against him, right? And this was Matthew chapter 18, verse 21 and 22, right? Matthew chapter 18, verse 21 and 22. Peter asked Jesus, how often should he forgive his brother when his brother sinned against him, right? And Jesus replied and told him, forgive him 70 times 7, right? Now, what this scripture is basically saying, because Jesus being our spirit, the human imagination, right? And Peter and the disciples and what's not, they're just like different states of being, different states of consciousness, right? Because the Bible is personified, right? But we'll leave that for another video, okay? When, okay, your own brother, right, that you're forgiving is you, because we're all one pushed out, right? It's nothing but you, right? So when he says, forgive your brother, right, 70 times 7, right, is actually, and the word forgiveness, to forgive means to forget, okay? Right, let's start with that, right? To forgive means to forget. So what it's basically telling you is to forget the old state, right? What we call the old man, who you used to be, right? Forget the old state and focus on the new state, the new person that you desire to be. So that's what it basically means, right? Forget the old state and focus on being the new state, being in the new state, the person that you desire to be, right? And the 70 times 7, it does not necessarily mean 490 times. So let's say you're using the tools of affirmations and scripting and imaginal acts. It doesn't mean that you have to do it 490 times, right, to be in the state of the wish fulfilled, right? But even if it has to take that much, right, 490 times or even more, well, you do it in order to keep your mind fixed, right, on that which you desire, right? Because the 7 represents the sword, it represents a sword, right? And I can't remember what the 70 represents, but you can do your research on it as well, right? But the 7 represents the sword, right? I think the 70 represents the eye or something like that, right? But it's basically telling you to keep the third eye, right? Keep it focused on that, what it is that you want to manifest, right? So the 70 times 7 doesn't necessarily mean 490 times, right? Even in the same lecture, Neville Goddard broke it down. So once I put the link in the description box below, you can click it and feel free to listen to Neville's lectures, Divine Vision, right? So that's what it's basically telling you. Forget the old man and focus on the new man, which is the new state. That is that which you desire to manifest, right? And the 70 times 7 is not necessarily meaning 490 times, but do it as much as possible to keep your mind fixed on that which it is that you want to manifest, to keep yourself into that state. So if you set the intentions now, and then later on during the day, you start to waver and start to feel, because you're going to feel it. Feelings don't lie. You're going to know about your feelings, right? Because usually when you set the act, when you set the intention successfully and you come out of it, right, you feel a feeling of satisfaction, right? You feel like a peaceful feeling, like there's no need to do the act anymore. Like you feel it, right? Because there's times too where I set the intention and when I come out of it, as soon as I come out of it, like I don't feel satisfied, like like, as well, like I feel as though like I missed the mark. So I would close my eyes again and I would do it over again until I actually feel it, right? Because usually in Neville Goddard's lectures too as well, for those of you who listen to Neville, and I'm not putting him on a pedestal, but majority of what he says, right, is on point from my experience, right? He talks about when you're setting the intentions, right? And you actually feel it. You come to this point where you feel like an explosion within you, right? Because that's like your feelings like building up, and once you reach that point where you're like of total satisfaction, it's like an explosion that happens within you. For those of you who do it, y'all will understand where I'm coming from. That you can speak particular words over and over and over all the time and actually feel it until it comes to the point where something within you, like it just starts from the bottom and comes right up, and you just feel that explosion, right? That's how you know that you actually hit the mark. Majority of times, just by using your feeling, right? But I mean, you can still manifest just by persisting and persisting and persisting in something, right? Without necessarily really using feelings, but feelings is the main key. Feelings, right? It helps to put you into that state of the wish fulfilled, and it helps you to know, right? It helps you to know if you're shifting or not, and if you're actually in the state of the wish fulfilled. Your feelings, because the feelings don't lie, right? We're all energetic beings, right? And our feelings and our emotions, the subconscious mind works off of that, off of repetition, and also your feelings. So your feelings don't lie, right? So that is how you manage to stay into the wish fulfilled, right? Just by keeping your mind focused on that which it is that you want to manifest. And I'm not saying you have to be thinking about it 24/7 every single day, right? What I'm saying is when you set the intention, right, and then like later on you start to waver or you start to feel as though you're coming out of that state, like you're worrying and what's not, you go back to it and keep your mind fixed on it, right? But not necessarily meaning that every single day like you have to be like thinking about it. Once you set the intention, it is already done. I'm talking about when you start to waver and start to feel worries and doubts, but then you continue to go back to it every time you feel that way. And you don't even have to feel that way to do it like 2, 3 times a day, 4 times a day. You can do it just for like the fun of it and just to keep the spark going, to keep yourself fixed into that state of the wish fulfilled until it materializes into reality. Alright? So as I said before, I'm going to put the link in the description box below, Divine Vision, where Neville would have spoke about this, right? About keeping the mind fixed, right? And I just hope this video was of help to you, those of you who are watching. Alright? So that is how you remain in the state of the wish fulfilled, right? Through repetition, right? Keeping your mind fixed on that what it is that you want. Forget the old man, right? Who you once was, and focus more on the new man, the person you are destined to be. Be it right now. So the specific person you want, the house, the car, the goal, the career, right? You set the intentions like every single day. You set it knowing that it is already done. And when you start to waver and what's not, you go back to it. No matter how many times it takes, it could be the same 490 times or even more. But just to keep yourself into that state of the wish fulfilled. Keep your mind fixed on it. Now you can do it just once, right? And you can remain in the state of the wish fulfilled for the rest of the day. Maybe even days. Right? But I'm talking about for those of you, who may have still have a lot of doubt and worry, right? You just keep going back to it over and over all the time just to keep your mind fixed on it. Not out of desperation, right? But just go back to it just to keep your mind fixed on it. Don't try to grab on tight to it like that, you know what I mean? Just let everything flow. You know what I mean? You do it from a space of love and you do it knowing that it's already done. Just flow with it. Don't grip onto it. You just flow with it. Alright? So with all that being said, I just hope this video was of help to you. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so as yet. Feel free to click the notification bell as well for more videos to come. Alright? So remember, keep your mind fixed on that. What it is you want, the new man, rather than the old man. Forget the old man. The old man is gone. So you set that intention, knowing that it's already done. Anytime you start to waver, you just go back to it. As many times as you have to, just to keep your mind fixed on it. Right? And not out of desperation and worry. Because just remember, it is already done. The power is in your hands. You are the co-creator. With every spoken word, with every written word, and with every thought. Alright? So focus on the new man and not the old man. The old man is gone. Do like Job when he was in the lion's den. when he turned his back on the lions. The lions is the old state. When he turned his back to the old state, now he was focused on the new state. So if the old state was sickness and poverty and what's not, those were the lions. So he turned his back on them and he focused on wealth and health. Right? Be like Job. Keep your mind fixed on the new state. Keep your mind fixed on the new state. Keep your mind fixed on the new state. Every single day, keep your mind fixed on the new state. I am Be Floss to God, sending you love, peace, joy, prosperity, and blessings as usual. And I'm out.